Welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining me this afternoon around our thoughts and the different angles on the very interesting and hot topic of sustainable packaging. Before we jump into the actual subject, I would like to take the opportunity to shortly introduce my company, Walki. Walki is a modern and dynamic and yet still a 90-year-old company with its root in the paper manufacturing. Today we are more a material science company, concentrating on converting materials for further use. We are specialists in especially coating, lamination, and printing. Fiber-based material makes our main material, but we are dealing with many other web materials as well. We are a 400 million euro turnover company that are privately owned, and we have a very strong sustainability and innovation agenda. We are organized into 3 business areas. 2 of them are related to packaging, both consumer packaging and industrial packaging. And our third leg is involved in many different businesses, from construction facings and membranes to automotive, protective clothing, and imaging businesses. Common for all markets is a wish to transfer into more sustainable materials. We are a European-based company, but we have operations in Asia as well. We have learned to understand that the linear, convenient lifestyle that has enhanced the quality of life for so many people cannot continue in the same way that we are used to. We will have to adapt to new standards and routines. And when it comes to our use of material, both packaging as well as other material, we will have to adapt to a circular way of thinking and acting as well. This will require some action from each one of us as consumers. However, as a consumer, you need to be provided with alternative solutions. And I think we all have realized what a significant opportunity we have to together build the future and help consumers to change their habits concerning packaging. A change process is always connected to some resistance, to some reluctancy, and also to confusion. A change process also typically involves development of new sophisticated technologies and solutions. And sometimes this can take time, even a long time. We believe that it is important not to wait for the final ultimate solution to come along, but to keep the momentum, what is ongoing, and to use both existing and novel building blocks to initiate the journey. Walki's mission is to accelerate the world transition to a zero-waste future. And by that, we mean that we support the circular economy, where materials are not turned into waste, but are kept in the circle as long as possible. As a packaging company, we believe fiber-based packaging has a lot to offer to the journey of change. And that is for a number of reasons that I will go a bit more into detail into. Many studies conducted during the last years has repeatedly showed the same results, that consumers prefer fiber-based packaging. In an interesting study conducted by two sites during the recent spring, found again that paper and cardboard packaging ranked highest among consumers. Around 6,000 consumers were asked to match 4 different packaging materials: paper cardboard, glass, plastic, and metals, and to match them with 15 different attributes that they consider to suit best. Out of these 15 attributes, paper and cardboard was the average European favorite material for 10 of the attributes. Glass accounted for 4, metal for 1, and plastic for none. So we think that this constitutes a very good initiative for a change. One major topic for the packaging in the circular economy is creation of the infrastructure and technology needed to keep the materials in the loop. Paper and cardboard packaging has the highest recycling rate of any packaging material at a rate of about 85%. Although there are some differences between different countries and also between material and material, still it is a fact that the infrastructure and technologies are in place already at a larger scale. Coming again back to the consumer, the same study by two sides revealed that paper and board packaging were also considered as being the most recycled material. Interestingly enough, the consumer estimated the recycling rate to be a bit lower than the actual figure. In comparison, when it comes to plastic packaging, the opposite was seen. So there was a tendency to overestimate the recycling rate of plastic packaging. The most concerning, but in a way to a less extent debated topic, is the impact of packaging on the climate change. Most discussion concerning plastic packaging today focus on increased recycling and decarbonizing the new plastic production. Both of these are extremely important initiatives. It is, however, a big question mark if the impact of these initiatives will be sufficient. So, meaning also all other options to make sustainable packaging needs to be considered. A very interesting study by Material Economics looked in detail at the potential to use more wood fibers in packaging and the potential to decrease CO2 emission from packaging, both on a short term and on a long term up to year 2050. And in the scenarios of year 2050, the available industry roadmap for energy sector decarbonization, reduced transportation, increased recycling, and such things were considered in the calculations. The same was done for plastic packaging. Very interestingly, the study showed that it would be easier to reduce CO2 emission from the through the transition towards fiber-based packaging, even if it would require some more material to cover for some of the functionality that is provided by plastic packaging. The study also showed that an estimation of around 1/4 of the existing plastic packaging could already be substituted without significant compromise. So coming back to what I said earlier, it is important to initiate the journey, and we believe that the fiber-based packaging has already the building blocks to do so. When it comes to the actual packaging, we know that it is not as simple as replacing one material with another. And when it comes to the sustainable packaging, that there will not be any one-fit-all solution. You will have to find the best material or the best material combination for each individual case. To address the complexity, Walki has developed a toolbox of technologies, our building blocks, to cover as much of the needs as possible. The technologies we have in our toolbox can either be used individually or in combination with each other. And we are constantly busy with enlarging our scope of the building blocks. We have named the technology platform our Zero Waste Future platform. And we have divided it into a renewable part, a recyclable part, and a compostable part. Our focus has been on developing coatings for paper or board, but to a certain extent, the technologies we have can also be applied on film production. Today, I will focus and highlight our building blocks for recyclable packaging. When it comes to fiber-based packaging for more demanding products, perishable food or long shelf life products, pure paper or board will have limitations and will be needed to be equipped with barriers that gives the appropriate protection to the packed food. Sometimes these barriers can cause obstacles for an effective recycling or repulping of the material. We want to show that this does not need to be the case, and that there are viable alternatives available. The earth coating concept has a significant plastic reduction potential. Up to 50% of the plastic in a typical coating can be replaced by minerals. And when you do this, thanks to the higher density of the coating, it is not only contributing to the reduction of plastic, it will also have an easier separation of the coating and the fiber in the repulping process, and the yield of fiber will be on a higher level. The concept does typically not require any sacrifices in terms of properties or machinability. So typically it will run very well on existing packaging lines. A second major building block is the dispersion coatings. Many times they are a bit wrongly referred to as plastic-free coatings, whatever that expression means. However, dispersion coatings are free of traditional polymers and consists of special polymers dispersed in water. When applied to a paper or board, they are forming a thin film that will act as a barrier to grease, moisture, or even to oxygen. The technical capabilities of dispersion coating to act as barriers and also to act as sealing medias is developing very fast. And this is a trend and technology that we are following very closely. The third building block for recyclable packaging is monolaminates. In the past, we used to combine different material with each other. Today, we are discovering what can be achieved when you are combining the same type of material with each other. Or alternatively, we are discovering how far can you push the minor component in a laminate. So how thin can you make the coatings, for instance. Also, this building block is developing very fast, and today it is possible to down gauge coat weights up to 50%. We have already solutions on the market based on our recyclable building blocks. In the form of a pouch, you can find easily recyclable fiber-based alternatives with very good barrier properties. As a folding box, we can present solutions for the on-the-go market. The dispersion coating used does not only give excellent barrier properties to grease and moisture, it is both recyclable and compostable. And this is a property that is very important for this market, where you sometimes can have the situation that you dispose the packaging with a significant amount of food residue in it. As a tray, we can present a completely PET-free alternative with very good grease barrier and a moderate moisture barrier. It is approved for conventional oven up to 60 minutes and works very well in a freezer to oven concept for baked products or ready meals. As a conclusion, the time to start the journey towards more sustainable packaging is now. There are many arguments why fiber-based packaging has the potential to play a significant role in the transition. New building blocks and technologies will have to be further developed, but solutions to start the journey are already there, and the consumers are asking for them. I hope I have inspired you with these insights and will be happy to answer any question. Thank you for listening.